This is a preview for the last week of January, 25 to 29. Okay, it's going to be a busy week. Not only the first week is important, also the last week. Monday, with the German IFO business climate, Germany's #1 think tank, will say what they think businessmen think about the economy in Germany. That means a refugee crisis, Volkswagen crisis, Chinese demand, and you name it, inflation, ECB support. More importantly, on Tuesday, we get things warming up with another speech from Carney. He is always there to potentially provide some carnage. And consumer confidence from the US, the CB1 also for January. Let's see if the additional money that consumers have in their pockets is helping confidence and implying higher spending. Wednesday is the really big day. Begins, for those of you trading the Aussie, with the quarterly inflation figures from Australia to determine the next decision by the Reserve Bank of Australia. In February, they had a break in January. Oil inventories, as every week, they have a lot of impact. And of course, the Fed decision. And that's, I think, one of the reasons that Eurodollar is not making a huge move. That's because the Fed could say that they're worried about that the situation has deteriorated. We're there to support stock markets. They will leave the door open for March. They will not admit that they made a mistake in December. I also don't think they made a mistake. But I think they'll be more dovish on inflation, unemployment. Inflation and employment were not that bad, but other figures regarding the economy, retail sales, manufacturing, they don't look good. And the Fed will have the GDP figures in front of their eyes. So we could also have the Fed hinting us for Friday's GDP. If the Fed has a good GDP read in front of its eyes, and if it remains optimistic and determined about the economy, then we could go hawkish. That means a stronger US dollar across the board, of course, stronger against commodities and the pound. And of course, just an hour afterwards, we have the decision by the RBNZ. I don't expect them to cut unless the Kiwi jumps from now until Wednesday. I think they'll keep their powder dry, their ammunition, their barrel, whatever you want, and wait for a few more developments. Despite the deterioration in markets, despite the fall in inflation in New Zealand. Okay, that's not all. On Thursday, we have echoes from the Fed, of course, and UK GDP, a preliminary read for Q4. Let's see how it goes. Durable goods orders from the United States. Also, this figure will be available for the Fed, I believe, before they make their decision. It has long-term implications. It's the durable goods orders released for December, the final one for 2015, and the core one reflects investment. Very important figure. And on Friday, also an important close, strong close to the week. Bank of Japan's rate decision. They're currently expected to announce more QE, battling the weak, the strong yen, battling weak inflation in Japan, succumbing to pressure from the central government. But it's nothing is certain. Okay, this is just the development of the past week. And then we have GDP from the United States. I don't have the official expectations, but it's expected to be very weak, around 1% annualized. And in Canada, also GDP for it's for the month of November. It's monthly GDP in Canada. So we have really busy week, and also end of month. It's been a busy one. End of month adjustments. Not as busy as I wanted in Eurodollar, but quite busy in quite a few currencies. Okay. Question here, no economic indicators from the Eurozone excluding the UK. We have the IFO German figures. Maybe I missed something of importance. I think we have actually inflation numbers, I hope. Let's look at the calendar. I think maybe I did miss inflation figures in Europe, the preliminary ones, which are more important than the final ones. So let me just take a look at that. Anyway, they're less important because we already had the ECB decision behind us. but doesn't mean they will not move markets, just less important than when they're before the ECB decision. No, maybe I'm confused with another week. Anyway, we'll be here next week. We have the monetary figures from the Eurozone. Ah, yes, here it is. On. This is Friday, actually. So another big event for Friday. Again, not close, not adjacent to the ECB's decision, but still of importance. The Consumer Price Index, preliminary for January in the Eurozone. Usually the day before it's from Germany, so it should be interesting as well. Okay, euro dollar in the hands of USD and stock market moves, mostly so. Yeah, not only the US dollar, but also the mood in markets: bad mood, strong euro; good mood, weak euro. Remember, the yen moves more according to the flutes of markets, but also the euro is a safe haven currency. But with stimulus coming for both central banks, this strong correlation with the safe haven currencies could crumble down just a bit. Okay, let's see how things evolve. Anyway, we have a slightly weaker euro, not a disaster, not a crash. An interesting close to this week, another very interesting week next week. Hopefully, euro dollar will join its peers and move more. Enjoy the volatility that the pound enjoys, the Canadian dollar enjoys, and even the yen is moving more than the euro. Hopefully, things will be more exciting for euro dollar as well. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's it for today.